What in the hell happened to Jamie Kennedy? Tremors, A Cold Day in Hell. That sounds more like a Die Hard title than a Tremors film. AKA Tremors 6, directed by Don Michael Paul, starring Michale Gross as Burt Gunner again, Jamie Kennedy as, I think, Travis Welker. I think that's his name. Travis Welker, you know, is Burt Gunner's son now. That was established in the last film, Tremors Bloodlines, where they were in Africa. Don Michael Paul, he directed that as well, so this is another follow-up to that. When I first saw the trailer, I was like, oh, they're doing something new. We're going to Canada. It's a lot of ice setting, snow setting, and you got graboids underneath the snow. I was like, oh, that's cool. That hasn't been done yet, and I thought that was a pretty cool angle. But honestly, you know what? I'm just going to have to spoil this movie for you because you don't really get a whole lot new from all the other entries as you do for this one, because this feels just like all the other entries. Just they do a couple things differently. So you can tell whenever they start running out of budget and stuff like that for the film. So they start, you know, everything's in like one setting basically. And really the snow setting, the opening scene is more of the snow setting. And that was actually kind of promising. I was like, oh, okay, this might be a fun, dumb action horror movie back to its original roots instead of it just being I mean, they've always been B movies, but they've always had this fun factor to them, and it's always had a soft spot in my heart for these type of films, just because I love the original, and I actually like the second one, Tremors 2 Aftershocks. I think those two are probably, if I ever go back to watch any of the Tremors films, those are going to be the two that I go back to the most, especially the first one, because the first film just captured horror and comedy perfectly, you know, and that's all due to Fred Ward and especially Kevin Bacon. So whenever the opening scene is done, you come to find out that, you know, like they're trying to weaponize Tremors in this, graboids in this one. There's ass blasters. Burt Gunner and Travis Welker, Jamie Kennedy, they both get called into Canada and to take care of this job. And basically they're just like, if you got ass blasters, then you got graboids as well. So I felt like that the CGI sometimes it was tolerable. Actually, I was like, wow, okay, you know what, for a straight to DVD Blu-ray film, this isn't quite bad. There are some that are very questionable, but it was better than some of the entries that I've seen, and this film had more practical effects than I expected, and I liked that because that's what I think I loved more about the first and second one. More of the first one was that the practical effects were actually pretty well done, and if they did that, then I think that's where the film can shine more if they focus more on practical than special effects. But there were a few scenes that you would have to use special effects. I would say the tone shift is just a little bit off, because like whenever someone gets killed, it's kind of like a serious moment. You know, some serious music comes on in the background. It's like some more horrific deaths and stuff like that. So, but the follow-up is like a failed joke that just doesn't work, either by Jamie Kennedy or some of the rest of the cast. And the rest of the cast is no names. You don't give a shit about them. They're just there to be like killed, and that's it. Most of them are dumb and you don't care about, and you're just like waiting for them to die. To be honest, I mean, they're just those type of characters in a movie like this. But if they would just pick a tone as far as like, let's keep it a little bit more serious, and do a couple of jokes. But it was like, if someone died, it didn't even seem like no one died. I remember a scene where somebody was like just demolished, and the looks on people's faces was like this. And then they would say a joke, and everybody would just kind of get lighthearted with it. And I'm just like, that just it irritates me in horror comedies. If you cannot blend horror and comedy correctly, your movie's going to fail. And that's what I say about a horror comedy, is that if it fails on the comedy, and if it fails on the horror aspect, you got a failed movie, because one or the other has to hit, or both of them have to hit. And I just, you know, maybe it's just me growing up that I'm not buying into this kind of shit anymore. I don't know if I'm just growing out of these films or what. I'm hoping for the best for the TV series that's been announced, where Kevin Bacon's supposed to be coming back. So I think that's going to be pretty promising. even though that Tremors 7 has been greenlit, whoever knows whatever that name is, it doesn't. I think it's just going to be like a standalone thing. It's not going to be connected or anything. Or maybe later on down the road they will connect it. But also, rumor has it that Fred Ward is coming back as well with Kevin Bacon on that TV series. So I'm actually probably going to check that one out, because they had a failed attempt of a TV series a while back, and I think that had Michale Gross in it as well, but I never checked that out. Let me know in the comment section below if that was even worth checking out. I might try to find that on Amazon or something. But yeah, I don't know if I'm just growing out of these films or what is it. It just felt like the same thing that's been given to us 100 times, and there is some fun to be had with this entry. It's just they don't do anything really different with it. I mean, they kind of dabble into, they're going to weaponize graboids and stuff like that, but they don't really do much with it. You find out that Michale Gross from a previous film, whenever he was inside of a graboid, that now he's infected with it. So they're kind of like, Jamie Kennedy is like on a mission to save his dad, and like Michale Gross in some parts have to sit this one out, and he's like in this little medical facility that's, I mean, basically you got like a snow setting that's like in the background. It looks fake as shit. And you're basically in like this, like one little area that kind of looks like a little desert town. There's a bunch of, it's like a little base, and you know, you got trailers here and trailers there, and they're all like in each one trying to run for cover, trying to run for the rocks. I mean, it's kind of like one secluded setting, and I that's when I say that, you know, I feel like that they kind of fell out of like budget or whatever. I guess they could only do like the snow setting for the opening scene, and that was it. But you know, I'm sorry if I'm spoiling this for you. You know, I'm gonna put it in the title as a spoiler review, so it's your choice to click on this video. It's just, you know what you're getting. I mean, this is the 6th film. Don Michael Paul has done Tremors 5 Bloodlines. I watched that, and I thought that, you know, hey, Jamie Kennedy's going to be in this. This might be actually promising, because I'm a fan of Jamie Kennedy's, even though, you know, they say he failed his career with Son of the Son of the Mask, which I never checked out, which, you know, I heard that, you know, it was up for Razzies, and it basically ruined his career, which sucks, because I've always been a fan of Jamie Kennedy's ever since Scream and Scream 2. Where that series started to drop off a little bit is when they killed off Jamie Kennedy in Scream 2. Spoiler alert, sorry, but it's just now it looks like this guy just looks rough. Jamie Kennedy, what the fuck has happened to you, dude? I mean, you're still a good actor. I still see potential in you and everything, and I don't know if he's just let himself go drinking or what, but he just looks rough, and I know that goes for his character too, because he was kind of rough in the 5th one, but I mean, he's almost unrecognizable to me, and you know, I just, his humor in this film, I can see that he wants to do what he wants, but he can only do what he's working with. So he's got the script. These jokes are just not working. I wish Tremors would just pick a tone. Let's go in a more serious tone. Maybe that's what the, you know, to freshen up the series. That's what it needs. It's like, let's get a little bit of horror into it. Let's get a bit more serious instead of these dumb characters with dumb jokes. And you know what? You might have a pretty successful film on your hand. This one was better than the last few entries. I'll do a ranking video of where this lands. I would have to really think about it and kind of, you know, refresh my memory on some of the other films. But you know, Michale Gross is in every entry of this franchise. Yeah, so there's not really much more to say than this movie is exactly what you've got 5 other times. So yeah, and it looks like we're going to get a 7th one. So yeah, if you like these type of movies, if you got a soft spot in your heart for these movies and you find entertainment out of it, which there is entertainment to be had, you know who you are walking into this film. So take that as you will, and I'm gonna give this movie a D+. For dumb as shit with a little bit of fun. That's all I can say. Yeah. There's not much more to talk about this. There's something about Michale Gross that I just don't really care for. I know that he's one of the favorites in the series, you know, and he worked well with, you know, Reba McEntire in the first film and everything, and I think that, you know, he was good because he was here and there, but full-blown Michael Gross, it just irritates me. He's over the top, which these movies are over the top to begin with, but it grows tiring after a while. But yeah, I think that's my problem with this. We need a fresh face. We need something, and I hope that we need something to bring this back. And I really think that the TV series with Kevin Bacon and Fred Ward coming back, maybe that's going to be the trick, if they have the right budget for it, and if they get the tone of the first film or the first two films, because I really enjoyed Aftershocks. I thought that was a pretty cool entry. I will have to say that there is this one scene that I kind of enjoyed where they had to capture a graboid. I'm not going to tell you why. Well, this is a spoiler review. They had to get some of the I guess some stuff out of its gland or something. So they had to like capture this graboid in a certain way, and it was kind of entertaining. That was probably the most entertaining scene out of the whole entire movie. And Jamie Kennedy has to crawl in its mouth. And he's constantly getting coughed on, and that was really cool, and the practical effects and that was really, really good, and I really think that kind of saved the movie. The movie was good at the beginning, the movie was good closer to the end. The stuff in the middle, I could give a shit less. Alright guys, that's my review for Tremors: A Cold Day in Hell, aka Tremors 6. I hope you guys enjoyed. Hit this like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new here, and I see you guys later. Oh, don't forget, Avengers Infinity War is coming out. I got my ticket, I'm ready to go. I'm going Thursday night with a buddy, and I will have a review out right after that. Alright guys, take care now. Bye-bye then.